you are a true believer in live streaming. It's been a theme of this show. And one of the examples of that is what you did this past week, which is do a 2.5 hour long live stream. Now, there's a whole bunch of angles that we could take for this. And I just wanted to start by talking about the average view duration, because this is what you were calling earlier in the show. You called it. So at the end of the stream, if I remember, it was in the kind of like mid 10s range in terms
12 minutes.
So that means that on average, the average viewer that came across this live stream watched for about 12 minutes. Now, some people watched longer than that. Some people watched shorter than that. But the average viewer was about 12 minutes. Now, over time, you texted us just a few hours after. You said keeps going up and up, and it went to 22 minutes. And there was a point where it was like literally like 30 plus minutes at a late night.
Not the average, but like at one point of the day, it was getting up there. But still, it takes the average from when the video went live to now. And at one point there was like a 35-minute, but so the average never reached that high.
So let me set the scene a little bit. You are sitting there, you're cooking pizzas, which is one of the things that you do the most, that you're passionate about, that you have a lot of experience about, that you know that your channel cares about as well. You do that with your friend Matt Broussard, who you talked about earlier in the show, a chef, so you got to learn a thing or two from him, running the setup that we talked about earlier in the show as well through Ecamm Live and using DJI Osmo. Shout out to Ecamm Live, the sponsor of the show. Thank you, Nooch. And also, thank you for clapping for Ecamm there. One of the things I noticed is just the vibe of the show. You've been running things that were about an hour long, which people really enjoyed. And one of the things I noticed the most in this one is that because you did it for so long, people said, I finally caught one of your lives. I'm so excited. And so I just want you to reflect a little bit on that experience, about what it was like, what you think about the 2.5 hour long live streams, and whether the length is there, and like, what is your general philosophy about the reflection there?
Okay. So I used to do more live streams, but they took a lot of production, a lot of effort, and there wasn't a lot of ROI. I mean, my audience that watched it, they might have loved it, but it just wasn't consistent enough because it was too difficult to sustain. Okay. So then I start using Ecamm Live, and I'm using my vlogging cameras, which is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. So it makes it way easier. So now I can do it. Okay. So I'm back doing it. It's an easy way for me to vlog without editing or doing anything, and it's up right away. And of course, live streaming engagement is the best. It's that, someone asks a question, you answer the question. They love that. Okay. All right.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Remember, so even though we went live, but I was also multi-cording and the live output, and then what were you able to do with that later on?
And so another thing that we're able to do with the live stream is actually take that content and edit it into my daily vlog, or edit it into a vlog on the same channel. But the reason I wanted to do this live stream, right? One, because my friend Matt wanted to come over and try my pizzas and just bake pizzas. He's like a legit chef. So I knew he would like be into it and also teach me something and teach the audience. But also I want to just test this theory out. Like, if it's longer, will the AVD go higher?
Yeah.
Now, going back to this arbitrary number of 30 minutes, right? When I was on Sean's podcast, he was asking me about this, and I was talking about how I think like there is a number now for how long your video should be. I said 30 minutes, okay? But then he comes back to me and says, actually, the data shows it should be like 16 minutes to 26 minutes. And then between 30 and 60 is like the danger zone. And then after an hour, whatever. And my takeaway from that was like, actually, there is something to the 26 minutes because my AVD has never gone over that. So even if my vlog is 50 minutes or an hour and 15 minutes, it never goes over that 26 minutes. Like, what are the chances of that? Okay. What are the chances of that? Also, flip side, if you add all the ads to a 26 minute, that still adds to 30 minutes. But remember, that is the video length that he's talking about. I'm talking about AVD. Okay. So then I was thinking, if I do a 2.5 hours, because what happened was in the beginning, as our videos are getting longer and longer, we're talking from going from 10 minutes to 12 minutes to 15 minutes to 20 minutes, the AVD was almost always 50%. So if it was 15 minutes, it'd be like 7.5, 8 minutes.
Yeah.
If it was like 20 minutes, it'd be 10 minutes. It'd be 50%.
Exactly.
Until like it didn't go up to that 50% mark.
And what was that point?
Yeah, that point was around like 45 minutes.
45
My
minutes.
45-minute length videos, it would top out at 18 and 20 minutes. So I was just pushing it, right? So I did an hour and 15-minute vlog, but guess what? Never the AVD, the average view duration of that 1 hour and 15-minute video never went over that 26 minutes.
Interesting.
Even my wife, who did a mega vlog once, that didn't even go over that 25-minute mark. So when I was doing this thing, I was like, I wonder if this will prove this number of 26 minutes. And it kind of did.
Yeah, right now it's at 2302, by the way.
2302, which it was a little higher and it's gone back down. My point is this. That's a 2.5 hour video. You would think that it would have maybe like an hour AVD, right? 50% would be 1 hour and 15 minutes, but no, it's not. It's like 26 minutes. The takeaway for me is 26 minutes is a magical number.
Oh, interesting.
If you can hit that, right? There's just so many things that go into AVD and your channel, you as a creator, your type of content, who the audience is, what's their behavior, what are they getting out of it. But for me, it's crazy. I thought it would go over 26 minutes and it didn't even hit it.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder if it was even more lively live stream, if there was like more preparation. Because, me and Matt, we were just kind of like casual about the whole thing. It wasn't, when I say perfect, people that do run of shows, Nucci knows those kind of, like producers have like B-roll and breaks and music and all that kind of stuff. It might be more entertaining, more engaging. This was very casual. It's just literally me making 6 pizzas with Matt for 2.5 hours. Okay. But still, I thought, man, it would be over. So that's what I'd say. That for me, I'm like, this is what I would say. There's no point in going over 1 hour live stream for me right now.
Interesting. Huh.
For me right now, unless you value the engagement of the people. But I just told you, the average view duration of the people that jumped on was actually shorter.
Yeah.
Why is that? It's because they're stumbling onto the live when it goes live.
And
now,
then hopping off.
By the way, though, this is only true short term. Because you know what would happen if I do this every single Tuesday at the exact same time? That AVD would go higher as long as there was enough value, entertainment value, educational value, whatever it is. Not only will they know it's on there, so they'll be prepared, right? There'll be people waiting for the live stream to happen as long as I give Nucci the thumbnail more than 5 minutes before it happening. They will probably watch longer. And I bet you at that point, the AVD would be longer. It would be the opposite. The AVD might be way higher and then shrink down. This gets really gnarly for the average person, or especially a beginner that's not like a creator. What I'm saying is I learned that for me right now, there is kind of like a threshold for how long a live stream should be. And ultimately my number of 30, which represents more than just the length of the video, it represents a psychology of time, right? 30 minutes represents half an hour. Right now, I'm kind of like shooting for 25 to 30 minute vlogs lengths.
That makes sense. And the interesting thing about that too is that it fits right in with what you talked about with the traditional TV platforms as well, right? If TV platforms were programmed in 30-minute and 60-minute chunks in the past, it would make sense to program your YouTube videos in those 30 and 60-minute chunks as well. Obviously, there's more granular data that we talked about earlier in the show that might lead you to make other conclusions, and I don't think that data is wrong per se, but it speaks to really the bigger trend, which is that people are watching YouTube not just for long-form content, but for like mega long-form content that are hitting that 30-minute and 60-minute range. And so to me, I guess the takeaway that you've brought up is that you are going to continue programming your live show now in that 60-minute increment, and that your vlogs actually end up being edited down to that 30-minute range as well. And what Nucci was talking about in terms of editing those things down, it becomes even more powerful too, because you're using the same cameras that you use to vlog. You can cut it down and make it more choppy so that your vlog audience can tune into it more.
It's dynamic. My vlogs, if you've ever seen my cooking vlogs or even my shopping at the grocery store vlogs. There's so many different angles because I'm just vlogging as I go. Well, the reason you couldn't cut down my live stream into a vlog or even just a video, because it was just so static.
Yeah.
There was one wide angle and one close up. And sometimes I might like force the camera on the gimbal or whatever to get like the next shot. Now, because by the way, I didn't talk about this, the Osmo using Ecamm Live can have preset angles. So like the camera, it's the freakiest thing to see a little tiny Osmo gimbal with that little camera, if you know what it looks like, move on its own.
Yeah.
It's moving because Nutrily is controlling it, but the point is it's preset. So it, like from a creator standpoint, in terms of editing, it gives you more angles. So that's crazy. And then one thing I did on this last live stream is I actually moved the camera.
Yeah.
It's on a USB-C cord, but still it's light enough and it's mobile enough for me to just move it around. So there's all kinds of angles. And then also we added the mobile angle, which was actually pretty good. It was really good. So man, of course we keep shouting out Ecamm Live, but also just the components needed to do a live stream is getting so accessible. And then YouTube, I don't know. I'm everyone says I should do Twitch. I wonder, I'm going to make a bold statement. I think YouTube will take over live streaming.
I think so too. Actually, I'm curious about your closing thoughts, just generally speaking. So I want to turn that over to you. But before you do that, I would say the same thing, which is that like I'm very excited about YouTube live streaming right now. I think that they're making an investment in it. Neil didn't really say it a lot in his letter, his annual letter to YouTubers this year, but I mean, geez, the more and more that we've been doing live streaming, both on this show and on your show, the more it makes sense to me that you can take those live stream moments and cut it down. You can clip it up. You can do these kind of like mega clip farming that you do for your vlogs in a lot of ways. And also, it's just kind of an unusual thing that AI is having a harder time produce to Adam Mosseri's point earlier in the show as well. And so I don't know. What do you have any final thoughts before we close out here about generally the state of the creator economy? Because we've covered a lot of ground today.
Yeah, well, the big topic today was the CEO Neil Mohan's report. There was a lot of attention on it because last year's was such a big deal. Last year's, you could just summarize in like a few words. YouTube dominates TV and long form viewing, period. This year, not that eventful in my opinion. The only thing that was majorly different is that AI, I think was significant, but it's like whatever. It's like part 2 of last year. That's kind of how I looked at it. And the more broader context of YouTube and longer form and live streaming, I'm just telling you, get good at being on camera, but not being like a Logan Paul and doing challenges or pranks or whatever. And you don't have to be like a Mr. Beast and create a stadium where people are, competing against each other. You don't have to do crazy stuff. We talked about a white noise channel working, okay? There's people that just vacuum their living rooms. And Gary Vaynerchuk, he's kind of like becoming the oracle of all this stuff. You know what he said last year when he said his prediction is 2026? He said it's the year of live streaming. People just doing something very normal and live streaming it for 1, 2, 3 hours. I actually have to give him credit. That was what pushed me over the edge do this with Nutrily. Nutrily is the guy that runs my production. He said that. I was like, huh. He's like, yeah, a dad's going to be out there. This is exactly what Gary said. A dad that cooks for his kids is just going to set up a whole bunch of cameras and then just freaking live stream it and people are going to watch it. And I'm actually doing it. Now, my views compared to what I've done in the past or maybe other food creators, whatever, like my live stream got 5,000, but it's growing. It keeps growing every single week as it gets a little better, as I'm tweaking this and that. And so just to show you that Gary is right, rewind to 2011 when he wrote the book, Crush It, his original book that was like the Bible for creators back then. He would give all these different ideas. One of the ideas was, he said, you should start a real estate channel if you're a real estate agent. I did, and I made 7 figures from that channel. That's a whole nother story. He said, tea is the next coffee. you should do like a tea show. Guess what I did? Tea Tuesdays on my food channel. I had so much tea sent to me. It was ridiculous. I just stopped it. This sounds stupid because I had too much tea. I couldn't drink it. And it was just like overload. I don't like to throw away things. So I stopped doing that. Okay. And I think there was, oh yeah, the other thing he called out, QVC on YouTube. You know what's nuts about that? It didn't play out the way he said it is because it's doing it now.
Yeah.
So this guy is right about a lot of stuff. So when he said this last year, and we're friends, me and Gary are friends. I'm fortunate to be able to say that. And I've met him. I've been on his podcast. He's been on my content. I listened to him. Okay. And he said live streaming is here. And he also said like a shopping live too. So when he said that, I did it. And guess what I'm saying is, so if you know me and you want to know like what I'm thinking for the next 5 years, it's live streaming, and I'm beginning it right now. Like right now, I'm known for vlogging and food vlogging and long form content. That the seed I'm planting. The reason why I'm working with Ecamm is because even though the in real life thing was a big deal in the last like 3 to 5 years with Kai Cenat, iShowSpeed, I feel like those guys are like the pioneers. They're like the Logan Pauls. I'm more like, what about the dad that isn't as cool as them? Like me doing live streaming, and it's finally here. All the technology, all the gear, and even the demand is there. And that demand was kind of, the foundation was laid from YouTube being on the TV. So I'm telling you, start doing live streams, even if it's for fun, even if you're the bird that's chirping that no one's paying attention to, because one day someone's going to pay attention. And the people that do it the best and do it consistently, and guess what? I've told Neutrally, if I could do it, I might do it every single day. Those are the people that will build loyal audiences that trust them, that literally wait every day till you go live. This is real world, freaking, what is that? The Truman Show. Yeah. I'm telling you, it will be game over. And you already saw it being done with Kai Cenat, iShowSpeed. If you don't know who those are young people that have killed it in the creator world. But I'm telling you, normal people will be able to take advantage of it. And why it's so significant? It's the number one competitor and crusher of AI slop, which is going to grow and it's going to get better and people are going to want to watch it. But this live streaming will be real and it'll be a human and it'll be what people crave to watch. That's opposite of all that.
On that note, great thanks to our sponsor, Ecamm Live, the powerful live streaming platform for Mac. You can learn more about Ecamm Live at the link in the show notes.